Hey, it's Terry Gorry, and this is the Irish Law and Small Business Podcast. I've made videos before about the danger for anyone buying property of being naive. It's particularly acute. The danger is particularly acute if you're a first-time buyer or if you're buying in Ireland from abroad. It's one of the biggest things that you really need to guard against. And I've heard one or two difficult stories, to put it mildly, of people who naively purchased the property and basically believed everything that they were told, regardless of who told them the statements that they relied on. And they bought it basically hook, line and sinker. And they're now in a difficult position in terms of having bought a property, which second-hand property, it's a question of buyer beware, caveat emptor, and it's going to be very, very difficult for them to rescue the situation. Some of us appear to be built or are born with some sort of an inbuilt bullshit meter, some sort of an inbuilt skepticism and an aversion to trusting things as they are claimed or appear to be. Some of us are more trusting with a willingness to believe greater quantities of what we're told. If you're buying property in Ireland from abroad, or if you're buying as a first-time buyer and you've no experience, then you really need to be in the group that has the bullshit meter built in and has the aversion to believing everything. You can believe some stuff, you can accept some stuff, but my view would always be to trust or believe but verify. So avoid naivety, listen carefully, but carry out your own checks, trust but verify, shoot the breeze but recognise that you cannot rely on everything that you're told, especially when it comes to property. Let's face it, if you have a poor property that will be difficult to sell and you're looking at a sort of a financial millstone around your neck for the next 10 or 20 years, it's going to be easy for you to tell a few porkies, a few white lies. It's going to be easy for you to over-egg the pudding. It's going to be easy for you to exaggerate or engage in some hyperbole. So if that's the case, you make sure that you're not the person walking into such a situation. If you're a potential buyer walking into this sort of a situation, I hope you can see the problem that might arise. If you rely on what you're told, regardless of whether it's the vendor or the estate agent or some surveyor or anybody else for that matter, neighbours, etc., always be skeptical, carry out your own checks, but don't believe everything that you're told. If you do, then you're going to be in difficulty and you may well wade into a situation where you make an investment, your dream home will quite frankly become a nightmare. So believe nothing, do your own research, carry out your own checks, get a survey from a trusted surveyor or engineer, and remember that if you're buying especially a second-hand house, you do buy it in the condition that it's in. It's very much a question of caveat emptor, let the buyer beware. So trust but verify. That's what I believe you should do. And you need to guard against and avoid naivety in believing everything that you're told, because there's too much at stake, both for the vendor and for the purchaser. I hope you find this video useful. If you do, I'd appreciate if you gave it a thumbs up down below. And you may be interested in subscribing to my YouTube channel. I make videos about Irish law, business, Irish business, small business, entrepreneurship and that sort of thing. Thanks a lot.